Have you ever felt like your weaknesses are just stuck to you like a shadow? No matter how hard you try, they just won't let go? What if I told you most of those so-called weaknesses, they're not real? Yeah, you heard that right. They're just stories you keep telling yourself, little lies your mind loves to believe. Now, before you roll your eyes and say easy for you to say, hang on, this isn't some feel-good fluff. It's a wake-up call. Because the truth is, believing in those weaknesses is the #1 thing holding you back from becoming the strongest version of yourself. So, why do we keep falling into this trap? And what if the real problem isn't what you think you can't do, but how you're thinking about it? Stick around, because the most powerful insights are coming up. And trust me, by the middle of this video, your entire perspective on weakness will start to change forever. Now, let's break free from the stories that limit us. Ready? Let's get real for a moment. Most of us walk around carrying a list of weaknesses like they're badges of shame. I'm not good enough at public speaking. I can't stay disciplined. I'm just not smart enough. Sound familiar? Here's the kicker. These weaknesses are not facts. They're just stories you keep telling yourself over and over again. Psychologists call these self-limiting beliefs. They're mental traps created by your own mind. Why? Because our brains love patterns, even bad ones. If you've told yourself for years, I'm not good at something, your brain starts believing it's true. And then, surprise, surprise, you stop trying. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I once worked with a client, let's call her Sarah. She was convinced she was terrible at anything creative, paintings, writing, even doodling. She avoided it all. After a few simple mindset shifts, Sarah picked up a paintbrush for the first time in years, and guess what? She was actually really good. But the biggest hurdle wasn't her talent, it was the story she'd believed about herself. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't about ignoring real challenges. If you're afraid of heights, jumping out of a plane is not a weakness you just think away. But when your mind convinces you that you can't grow, learn, or improve, that's where the problem lies. Here's a humor break. If weakness was a real thing, I'd probably be crowned the king by now. I mean, I've been telling myself I can't cook for years, and it's a miracle I haven't burned the house down yet. Here's the good news. Understanding that your weaknesses are often just mental stories, that's step 1 toward freedom. It means you have the power to rewrite those stories. But here's a question. Where do these stories come from, and why do they have so much control over us? Hold that thought, because next, we're diving into the harsh truth Nietzsche had for anyone who's afraid to face themselves. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. All right, here's a truth bomb from Friedrich Nietzsche, one of history's toughest philosophers. He once said, "That which does not kill us makes us stronger." Sounds inspiring, right? But here's the catch. Nietzsche wasn't talking about some easy, feel-good pep talk. He was throwing down a challenge for anyone who wants real strength. You see, real strength doesn't come from waiting for someone to rescue you. It doesn't come from hoping life gets easier or blaming the world for your struggles. It comes from looking the hard stuff in the eye, the stuff that scares most people, and saying, I'm not backing down. Think about that for a second. Most of us are like that guy at the gym who's been bench pressing the same 10 pounds for a year because he's too scared to add more weight. It's safer, easier. But growth, that's on the other side of discomfort. Here's a story. Meet Jake. Jake was stuck in a dead-end job, telling himself, I'm just not smart enough to do better. One day, after a tough breakup and a serious wake-up call, he decided to face his fears. He went back to school, started building skills, and slowly but surely transformed his life. It wasn't pretty or easy. There were setbacks, doubts, and plenty of why am I doing this moments. But Jake never waited for a miracle. He became his own hero. And no, Jake didn't suddenly become a superhero with laser eyes, though that would be cool. He just decided not to be a victim anymore. Here's the harsh truth Nietzsche wanted us to face. If you keep waiting for life to be fair, for someone to fix your problems, or for your weaknesses to magically disappear, you'll be waiting forever. So the question is, are you ready to stop waiting? Are you ready to stand up and look at your fears head on? We'll get deeper into what society has been telling us about weakness and why that might be the biggest lie you've ever bought into. Stay tuned. Here's a little secret most of us don't realize. Society has been quietly teaching us the wrong lessons about what it means to be weak or strong. We've been told that saying no is rude, setting boundaries is selfish, and putting ourselves first is arrogant. Seriously. Remember that time your mom said, "Don't be so selfish," just because you wanted to spend time on your own? Yeah, that's part of the problem. This programming creates a big mess. Instead of protecting your energy and priorities, you end up drained, people-pleasing, and feeling like you're constantly failing because you're trying to be everything to everyone. Let me share a story. Meet Lisa, a mid-level manager juggling work, family, and friends. She hated conflict so much, she said yes to everything, even when it crushed her own goals. One day, she hit burnout so hard, she fainted at work. The wake-up call? Learning to say no without guilt was her real breakthrough. Scientific fact, studies show that setting healthy boundaries actually improves mental health and boosts productivity. But the tricky part? Society's sneaky messaging makes it feel like you're being difficult or mean when you protect yourself. It's like being told eating cake every day is bad for you and then being punished for skipping the broccoli. Go figure. Here's the bottom line. Confusing weakness with kindness or humility is a lie society tells to keep you small and manageable. But true strength? It's about standing up for yourself, being honest about your limits, and saying no without apology. So, are you ready to unlearn these myths and reclaim your power? Because next up, we're diving into why real strength means saying goodbye to safety nets and the need for approval. Stick around, it gets even more interesting.
Let's face it, safety feels good. Comfort zones are like cozy blankets we don't want to give up. And who doesn't want to be liked? We all crave approval. But here's the thing. Real strength, it comes from saying no to safety nets and the endless need to be liked by everyone. Imagine this. You're at a party where everyone is trying to impress each other, but you're the one who dares to be yourself, even if it means standing out or facing criticism. That takes guts. That takes power. Take Mark's story. Mark was a people pleaser his whole life, always saying yes to avoid conflict, even if it meant sacrificing his own dreams. One day, after losing a big opportunity because he feared speaking up, he decided enough was enough. He started setting clear boundaries, even if it meant upsetting some folks. At first, it was uncomfortable. And yes, a few people walked away. But Mark's confidence grew, and soon he attracted the right opportunities and relationships. Here's a little neuroscience nugget. Neuroscience shows that the brain actually grows and strengthens when we face challenges outside our comfort zones. That means discomfort isn't your enemy. It's your growth coach. If comfort zones were so great, why do we feel restless scrolling on our phones for hours? Yep, guilty as charged. So, what's the secret sauce? It's about being clear, honest, and true to yourself even when it's tough. When you stop chasing everyone's approval, you stop losing yourself. But wait, here's a kicker. You were never meant to be weak or a victim. No one handed you a script to play small. You were born to lead your own story, master your emotions, and evolve relentlessly. In the final part, we'll explore how to take control of your emotions and unlock that unstoppable inner power. And I'll show you a proven way to make this transformation easier than you think. Ready to discover the key that changes everything? Let's dive in. By now, you've seen how so much of what holds us back is built from inside. Those limiting stories, fears, and false ideas about weakness. But what if you had a proven, gentle method to clear all that noise? To really release negative emotions, master your inner world, and unlock a calm, confident, unstoppable version of yourself. That's exactly what the Ho'oponopono certification offers. Created by world-renowned experts like Dr. Joe Vitale and Dr. Ihalakala Lehuen, this course guides you through a powerful ancient Hawaiian practice, adapted for modern life, that helps you cleanse emotional blocks and find peace from within. thousands of students around the globe have transformed their lives through this training. People who struggle with stress, self-doubt, and toxic relationships found a new path to clarity and strength. And it's not just a course. It's a journey that leads to a respected international certification, opening doors for you to support others as a certified Ho'oponopono coach. What's even better? You can learn at your own pace, 100% online, with clear step-by-step videos and guidance. And if you're worried about risk, the course offers a 60-day money-back guarantee, so there's no reason not to give it a try. Imagine waking up every morning feeling lighter, more in control, and ready to face challenges without fear. Imagine having the tools to turn emotional chaos into calm. That's the power this course puts in your hands. If you're serious about breaking free from the stories that keep you stuck, if you want to become the strongest, most authentic version of yourself, this is your chance. Click the link below to learn more and start your transformation today. Your future self will thank you. Remember, strength isn't about fighting harder outside. It's about finding peace and power inside. And Ho'oponopono certification is your gateway to that.